Hi guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for the 1,000 subscribers special. We're going to be doing an about me. So I'm going to be describing myself, things I like to do. And yeah, we'll mix that up with some Netracell gameplay. That way it's not just me running my mouth. And I think that'll be kind of cool for the 1,000 subscriber special. For people that aren't interested in that, that's okay. I'll still have some Warframe builds coming out and weapon builds, things like that. So, okay, I think we can get into it here. Let me queue up this Netracell.
IMO, solo's a no-go. Let's crack that thing.
So I started recording and doing videos on January 1st, and I had assumed for the first year I was just going to be making videos for myself. Like for the first year, my videos were going to have like 5 or 10 views, and it was just going to basically be me just rewatching my videos. But it's been a lot better than that, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone that continues to watch, that comments, everything like that. So, and I hope I can continue to make things that you guys enjoy. So, all right, about me. I'm a 37-year-old American. My heritage is mostly Maltese. I'm a little bit Irish and English as well. My father came over from Malta when he was very young, which is kind of normal for a lot of Maltese people. It's a very small island. It was the island fortress of the Knights of St. John, or the Knights Hospitaller. And so it is only 5 miles wide by 15 miles long. So a very small island. So, you know, imagine living in a small town your whole life. You sometimes want to go to different countries. So a lot of my family still lives over in Malta. But yeah, I'm in America. So, as a teenager, my favorite game to play was Twisted Metal. I think for people that are maybe like mid to late 20s, they might know what Twisted Metal is. But if you don't, it was an amazing game. It's a demolition derby, except it's a demolition derby where there's like champions, kind of. It's like the maybe it's like the original champion shooter. I don't know. But like everyone had their own cars, and the cars were crazy. You know, like one dude drove a Humvee, another dude drove an ice cream truck, like all kinds of weird stuff. So yeah, I played the hell out of Twisted Metal when I was a teenager. I think I played every Twisted Metal up until Black. I don't know if there was any other Twisted Metals past Twisted Metal Black. If there was, then I didn't play those. But I played all of them up until Twisted Metal Black. When I was 17, I joined the U.S. Marine Corps. I joined as a... Ooh, there's a Voca right there. I was trained as a 0351, which is an infantry assaultman. So I did rockets, demolitions, urban breaching, which is like demolition breaching, and javelins. Not the throwing javelins, like the missile javelin. I don't think I could throw a javelin for shit, honestly. But yeah, I did that for 4 years. I did 2 combat deployments to Iraq. I did 1 combat deployment to Africa, although there wasn't really any combat in Africa. It was technically a combat deployment, but there was nothing there. We just kind of sunbathed. Oh, here we go. Let's open this up. Head over here. I did 4 years. So with the U.S. military, you do kind of like a contract. And I think it like is dependent for each person. When I first joined, most of the contracts, like pretty much almost all of them were 4-year contracts. So after 4 years, you get to decide, where is this red? Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. I thought it was going the right direction there. I'm sorry, I'm coming. After 4 years, you get to decide, you know, hey, I'm going to stay in or I'm going to get out. And it's fine. You know, it's good to go either way. You get a full honorable discharge. Or you get to stay in and they keep paying you, and you get to stay in the, well, you don't really get to. You choose to stay in the military. But after 4 years, I had been wounded in my first deployment. Not like hardcore wounded, but you know, I was a little bit messed up. So I decided I just kind of wanted to get out and live a normal life. My truck had been destroyed and ran over anti-tank mines. So drove over anti-tank mines, got destroyed. Most of us were okay. One guy died. But yeah, it was kind of messed up. So I decided I was going to get out. Just live a normal life. Are these guys like farming in the hallway here? You gotta let them come in. Look at those loot. Oh my goodness. But that's kind of normal for infantrymen. Infantrymen usually only do about 4 years and they get out. I think in the 50 dudes that were getting out at about the same time, I think 2 of us decided to re-enlist. One guy, I think, re-enlisted to do 8 years, so he did another 4 years contract. And then another dude decided to also re-enlist, and I think he ended up doing 12 or 16 altogether. But yeah, it's kind of normal in the infantry to just dip out after 4 years. You know, you see a lot, you do a lot, and you're like, I kind of want to live a normal life now. So that's kind of how I was. After the military, I started doing more than just casual gaming. I started like really enjoying gaming. And my first one that I got super hardcore into was World of Warcraft. And I think that's what a lot of people get into first. Or at least back in the day. Maybe not anymore. But back in the day, World of Warcraft was like the... So that's what got you hooked. You got hooked on the World of Warcraft. And then maybe you stayed with it. Maybe you quit it. And you moved to something else. But that's a lot of times what people got hooked on. So I played World of Warcraft for Wrath of the Lich King. I think I took a break after Wrath. And then I came back for Draenor and Legion. My occupation after the military, I went to college. I became a nurse. And so I worked as a nurse for a very long time. I mean, I still am technically a nurse, but I'm not working as a nurse right now. So I was a end-of-life nurse, like a long-term care end-of-life nurse for about 5 years. I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed kind of like helping people along their, their path and making them have an easy time transitioning over into end of life. Then for another 5 or 6 years after that, I worked as a correctional nurse, which is like a jail prison nurse. So I really enjoyed that too, although, way different than end of life care. And then after that, I started doing contract nursing, which is a little bit weird. I'm sure there's contract positions for like every profession. It's not just nursing. But like you don't actually have a set job. You just do like a 3 to 6 month contract. You have like an agency that tells you, hey, you're going to work here for 3 months. And you usually make a lot more money doing contracts than you do like a regular nursing job. But it's not consistent. You don't really know... if the people you're working for are going to let you renew your contract, if you're going to have to work somewhere different. So you're flip-flopping around a lot. And that's kind of why you get paid extra, because of the nuisance of that. But, I mean, it's still pretty cool, though. The money's nice. And then during that time I was a nurse, I also did a lot of medical aid missions. I love traveling. And so I went to Honduras a bunch of times. I think 4 times, maybe 5. I think it's 4 times. I think 4 times I went to Honduras with a group called Global Brigades. Global Brigades is usually a student group, but we were one of 2 professional groups at the time. There was an orthopedic group and there was a nurse and doctor group. So we were one of the 2 professional groups going over there. Honduras itself is like, the actual city parts and like the parts that are built up and stuff. It's pretty chill, I mean, they have like friggin' McDonald's, Burger Kings, like pretty cool country. But the rural parts are like way the hell out there, and some of those people don't have like medical care. So, or like easy access to medical care. They got to be driving friggin' 5 hours to get to Tegucigalpa to go, go to the hospital or something. So that's why we went out there. We went to like the super rural places that were like way out in the sticks. We helped some peeps. Lived in Nepal for a little bit, kind of doing the same thing. I worked in a clinic in the jungle in Nepal. I lived out there for like 3 months. That was kind of cool. I did mostly wound care out there. It was during the monsoon season, so a lot of people were... I'm going to sound really naive here, or like ignorant, because I don't fully understand. But like they harvest rice at some point, kind of near the monsoon season, like either right before it or right after it. And they use like sickles and shit, and they a lot of them like will accidentally cut themselves. I mean, like anything, I guess. Like if your job was going around a field cutting plants, you'd probably eventually whack yourself. And if you whack yourself too much, you got to go to the clinic and get stitched up, or have your stitches looked at or cleaned or taken out when they're ready to get taken out. So yeah, I worked at a little jungle clinic for like 3 months in Nepal. That was kind of cool. And after I started doing contract work though, as a nurse, there's periods in between contract nursing because it's not consistent. You do like a 3-month contract, and then you kind of have to wait for your agency to get you another contract. If they're good, they're going to like line them up right away, but sometimes they don't. Or sometimes you don't like what they lined up, so you're like, no, I don't want that one. Look for another one. So there's some periods in between. And in those periods, I got a little bit into carpentry, and I really enjoyed carpentry. So I kind of, I'm still a nurse. I still have my license, but I'm not working as a nurse. I'm doing more carpentry than anything. So I kind of just make things for people. I sell them, things like that. It's fun. It's fun work. Yeah, that's kind of my life story there. And then also 5 or 6 years ago, I met Pepper, the love of my life. She's amazing. She's kind of just like me. She's a big nerd like me. So it's perfect. About 4 years ago, we got married. And that's that. That's kind of my history. That's my little about me. Oh, we got the Netracell open here. We have 2 cats. We have 2 rabbits. They both love each other. They hang out with each other. They're cats and the rabbits. They have no qualms with each other. So we'll head to extraction. I think that'll be about it there. Yeah. If you guys have any other questions, though, make sure you let me know. And if you have any suggestions about possible videos I can do, maybe builds for Warframes, for weapons. Another thing I really need suggestions for is guides. So I want to know what you think people struggle with. Like, what do you think, even if you don't struggle with it? Maybe you're a mid or late game player, and you're good. You know most of the processes in the game. But what do you think new players struggle with? Let me know, and maybe I'll work on making a guide for it. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I hope you guys have a great day. All right.